So we're not making artwork to get criticized. It is a personal thing, and I think that's what makes a successful artist, is when they're not concerned with what the viewers going to think about what they're making, and they're doing it because it's a necessity. They need to do it, and so if you're concerned about making a bad piece and worried about the feedback you're going to get, that energy going into that piece is going to be bad, and the work's going to be bad, because your intention is about ego, and it's not about just your self-expression and your need to make art.
Always, always, always be true to yourself. Stick with your gut instinct, and what you put on the wall is you. If you put something on the wall at all, it could be about performance. Art is everything. To me, art still goes on walls, and the most important thing I would stress is just be true to who you are as a person, and then everything else will follow. Don't let anybody sway you in the direction that you don't want to go in, because you're making art for you, and you can get commissioned on work, and you can do work commercially. You can make money off your work, but remember that your true art lies within. And your influences are, you can pick and choose who you want as your influence, but you follow your own heart and let it guide you.
I think honesty is one of the most important things for the artist. And of course, artists want to please the audience, but the main things have to come from the heart. Then if you're worried about how your work will be viewed by the audience, I think something is being taken away. And you create something because you want to create, not because you want to get, some kind of accolade, and you want to, get a lot of recognition, and those are the byproduct. So I think we have to go back to the basic and do the soul searching, and then go deeper. And when you go deeper, something that you didn't think about will come out. Then that will move people. So don't try to, intentionally, wow the audience. I think that is something comes as a result, not as a main goal.
I think too, when the artist works conceptually, they are trying to educate the viewer. So in return, they are going to get criticized on their artwork. But the same as the abstract artist like myself, where I want to create an emotion rather than a literal description of something to tell the viewer. The conceptual artist is sort of doing the same kind of thing, but on the other end of the spectrum. They want feedback from the viewer, whether it's good or bad. If it's conceptual, it becomes part of the artwork.
Documentary started when I was actually in photojournalism in high school, and evolved. And so I was able to take it to that next step, that broader scheme, where I didn't have to focus just on stories or the ethics of photojournalism, newspapers and editorials. I could do whatever I wanted to, and it was more, I could put my own spin on things.
One of the techniques I use quite often is to use everyday material, something you have in your household and very inexpensive. These are the Q-tips, and I dip the Q-tips in the water so that it will make soft and pliable. Then I created this curve, then I lined them up in a certain way. And I was thinking about Japanese roof tile when I was doing this, but this is an example of bringing inherent beauty and present a unique, kind of a new way. Yeah.
So I started to work with interactive media. I studied illustration, and I was jumping all over the place. And then I started to get really interested in time and what is time. And I was interested in philosophy. And then all of a sudden I started thinking about how does time relate to medium. And so I started thinking about mediums, how can I make art that's timeless? And I started thinking about video. So I studied video. I actually received my bachelor's degree from CCS in video. And because I was so interested in time, because when you look at the monitor, it's not a still moment. The camera is moving around a subject. And then I started to think more like, I want to be even more present with the medium. And so I started working in sculpture, because that is the medium that is present in space and time with the viewer. You are able to actually walk around the medium. And so that time has been very influential in my artwork, and it decided what medium I wanted to ultimately work in. And then I still combine sculpture and video, and I want to be even more present with the work. So I started playing around with performance and combining video, props, and I wanted to perform not as if it's theater, because that's where process comes in. I wanted to be so present. I wanted to experience the process of art making the same time it's being displayed, if that makes sense.
I just started publishing about 2 years ago, and this the flora was an ongoing project that I've been working on for about 8 years. Since I graduated from undergrad, and it is something that I can't give up. I'm committed to it. It's a part of me, and it's always it's something that I try to develop and push further, and I want to make my imagery, my floral imagery, especially different.
I have to put myself in a certain frame of mind, and then let, like a meditation, and you as a person, but you are an instrument, and something is using your body or talent to communicate, So I always go back to that moment when I get, when I feel really down, then when I worry about, if I get another new ideas comes, then struggle, then a lot of things kind of an entanglement inside my head, and then I have to tell myself, stop. You're thinking too much in here, but not enough from my heart. So, and I feel that, I don't have to worry about. It's going to come naturally. So I have to tap, something in, something unique about myself and my background. And then I have to use all those things as my, my tool. Then create something, something that I have to get compelled to create. So I'm going to wait that moment to come. So my advice for the student is try to find something, that voice. You want to really say something, or you are so excited about something, so passionate about something. Then technique and those it's nice, but that passion have to be there in order to be an artist. Then honest to yourself, so whatever in you will come out.
I'm a faculty and interim director of galleries at Wayne State University, and I think both of my positions, the process of teaching students and creating an exhibition have the same components as creating a piece of artwork. For example, when I'm laying out an exhibition, the gallery itself is like a giant canvas, and it's all about composition to come up with a good layout for the show. It's all about basic elements of design. And with that, it's not really a formula, it's a feeling. And we keep moving artwork around and position it, and then eventually it just feels right. Same with making a piece of artwork. You keep manipulating the materials until something happens. And so I like to always compare laying out an exhibition with basic composition of making a piece of artwork. And then with teaching too, it has some of the same qualities. With teaching, it's all about constructive criticism and good energy. A lot of the students, you know, a lot of times students are weary about what they're going to show if other class mates or myself are going to like it, and it's not about that. There's always something positive, you know, that the students can grow from. And as I said before, as an artist, you're never done. You never quit growing. So I make that a point to be, you know, to the students, you're never finished. It's not like another curriculum in academia. It's artwork. You always have homework for the rest of your life. If you're an artist, you're constantly working. And so when a student brings in, a student could bring in a blank piece of paper and say, this is my piece. And I don't look at it like, oh, you're lazy, you didn't do anything. What I would say is, the white space is working really well. Now you need something else in the composition to make the proportion feel right, you know.